story about Anita Vemulapati stands testimony to both the unpredictability nature of the life and the exam itself. So this is a story of grit, determination, resilience, perseverance. If I keep adding on to these adjectives, it keeps going on and on. Because of the setbacks and the struggles that she has gone through, and every setback has become a milestone for her to reach greater heights. And I would like to congratulate Hanita Vimulapati on securing All India rank 887 in UPSC 2023. Congratulations, Anita. Thank you, sir. So, whenever we fail or something is not working out in our life, we always tend to curse ourselves. It can start even with our own family members, our parents, who are probably we did not come from a good background, or even it can go. The blame can go even to the God, where even we can start blaming God, saying that we with the talent that is required, or probably we were not given good talent, not blessed with a good talent. So the complaint keeps going on and on. But then once we bow down to this challenges, then every bit of this challenge becomes an obstacle in it itself. So let us listen to Anita's story here. And Anita, if you can introduce yourself, it would be really nice. What your family background, your education, all that. Uh, I come from a middle class background. My parents, both of them are government employees. And my father was in the railways, and my mother was in the Women Development and Child Welfare Department, supervisor to the Anganwadi centers. So, education has been they say education is a social ladder, and that's what I can describe my family situation as. Both my grandparents, they come from very humble backgrounds, and both of them used to work for long distances, more than 8 to 10 kilometers a day, to attend the school. And my maternal grandfather retired as a college principal, and my maternal grandfather, he got a job in the railways, and that's how that became the stepping stone for us to transition from a rural to an urban life. So that is like my family background. And coming to me, it is normal. I had my education at Timpani School, Visakhapatnam. Most then, like every other child, it was engineering or doctor, and like at least that's the trend in my state. Definitely. So it was engineering because I was scared of blood, and so my father joined me in Fiji Junior College, and thankfully I could clearly I got into IIT Kharagpur, Agriculture and Food Engineering. So things were all went fine, but one fine day, 1st of March 2013, I woke up. It was a normal day, but had a small ache in my leg. So thought it was a normal cramp, but cut to 4 hours later, I was paralyzed on the bed, and I was shifted to Kolkata, treatments and everything. And a month later, I was back at home, and they say it's a very rare autoimmune disease called transverse myelitis, and that left me paraplegic. So the whole world has changed, and had to pick back up from there. I went into depression for a very, very long time. 5 years continuously. I didn't step out of the house. 2 years, I did not, or rather, I could not see light. But I later met my Guruji, and he told me to restart studying. So I completed my. I applied for a distance program, 3 years, but I did not write the exam for the first half of it. So my goal was to complete the degree, and that's how I started studying. I finished it. Then he told me to prepare for UPSC. Didn't know what the exam really was, like how competitive it is, or what was required of me. So first time I could clear prelims, but then mains became a hurdle. This is my fourth attempt, and this time I cleared my mains.
It was my first interview and my first selection also into the list.
Okay. So you clearly remember the date as well. So obviously that is a huge setback that you face in your life. And also you had a dream of doing after BTech in IIT Kanpur. Kharagpur, sorry. You wanted to do MS and you had a different dream altogether. So how was it like those 3 4 years and the moment you realized this is what has happened to me? How was it altogether?
Mm, It was like till then I used to have a set plan. Even though I did not plan, it was more or less it was a set path. You study, you do BTech or UG, then you go to MS or MBA, then get a good job, and that's how you progress in life. So that plan totally got thrown out of the window, at least for me. There were a lot of issues. I couldn't go out, infrastructural challenges, mobility challenges, transport challenges. Everything, a small issue is going for movie. It did not happen by last movie was in 2012. Like I'm a big movie lover, like the family is. And I think after 11 years I watched one this new year. So it was such a huge gap. Um, I couldn't go to college because of infrastructure issues. I went back, but it was not designed to be wheelchair friendly. So I thought that was like that's the end of it. But as the days passed by, a question started to pop up. It's like there should be more to it. Like I am alive, right? There's this quote, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I just need to find out ways to redefine, rebuild. Like it's a reset, probably for a different path. So that's how slowly things got added up.
You definitely see what happens is when, say, suppose you're paralyzed or you're disabled from birth, it's a different thing because you get accustomed to it, or probably you get used to it, and that is how you build your other, what do you say, senses and other things. But this happens at the age of 18 years, I think. You are around 18 years, and all of a sudden this happens, and your dream of becoming an engineer, all that gets shattered. Obviously, it becomes a very painful thing. A lot of emotions you must maybe be running through. So, who were your strong pillars during this time?
My parents, my sister, my extended family, my aunt, my grandparents, everyone, and most importantly, my Guruji. It was almost like a strong pillar of support. He's always there. He was patient with me. It was during my teenage years, so there was a lot of anger.
Yeah.
It's like, why me?
Why me?
Why me is a very big question. Why only me? Why isn't there enough medication? Why weren't the correct steps of treatment being taken? All kinds of reasons as to why I'm in this condition. As you started off the interview, it's like it is because of this reason that I'm in this state. Uh, but after a point of time, I think I got saturated with the reasoning, and I was like, probably you need to rethink this, just move on from it. That would be the natural course.
Yeah.
You just can't stay in that state forever.
Yeah, you rightly said that because, as I told even in the initial part of the interview, when you face a failure, when things are not going in as per your needs or your wants, then obviously we start blaming everyone, each and everyone, and we start questioning why me. But there are hardly, I think, less than 1% to see it in a positive way and who overcome the setback and turn out into a very positive thing of getting into a civil service as a chief. That's a great achievement from what had happened to you and how the journey has been traveled, right? So here also there is this mindset and self motivation which is equally important. Of course, you've got a very good family support. Your Guruji was there, all that, but still, with all the support, there are people who still go down. But what kept you motivated? What kept you going? How did you motivate yourself?
One thing is, I really enjoy studying for this exam because of its variety and its use. You can actually translate it to change people's life and actually change my life. Like, if I go somewhere, if I ask like why isn't there a ramp, probably there can be an effort to construct a ramp to make my life easier. Or something else could work in the field of education, women empowerment, etc. But all these are ideas which can change society. That's what education is for. That is what I believe. So first and foremost thing is the field itself. It kept me interested and inspired. So doing good work is it felt like a drive for me, and it's also a mechanism to battle my depression. There's absolute zero, like it was zero loneliness, everything, and this gave me like work, sense of purpose, a goal, a direction, and with every exam I kept improving my scores. So that was another thing that kept me motivated. And yes, I did feel dejected a number of times, but I went for other options like APPSC Group One. I cleared it last year, so it was my first attempt, and I just tried. It was similar pattern, so I was like, why not? It worked, and that built me confidence. So going into the interview, I went in with the job. So I felt more secure at ease, and I could actually communicate my thoughts better. And I think that fair. That's why it's.
So you kept yourself occupied, and also I think a sense of gratitude is very important in our lives. With whatever we have, I think we should always thank God for what we have, because there are people like even you have faced so many setbacks. Actually, relatively, we have to see what we have and we should be happy, because most of the times we see we crib even for small things, right? So when we look at other person who was a normal person who was lost the things that she had before and all that, I think a sense of gratitude is very important in one's life. Coming to this UPSC, so you wanted to become an engineer and graduate in that. I think you had taken food and agriculture in your engineering. Then you switched over to, I think, arts.
BA with maths as a major.
BA with maths as a major. You switched over to that. So, did you switch over to maths with BA purposefully to take up UPSC, or you just wanted to keep yourself occupied?
I was trying out with different subjects. So like in first year, I took polity, economy, history, and I think in the middle of it, this 3 years for course, and in the last 1.5 years when I actually started writing exams. So that's when I decided that I would be taking up UPSC with probably maths as an option. So first year of opting subjects, I tried all the possible subjects, and I felt it would be more easy to bring in maths, with which I was already more accustomed to. So that was the factor.
Okay. Usually, because we don't see people with BA taking up maths as their option, so that is something unique. Is it because of your education background till 12th standard,
Yes.
or your natural interest? Because there are times where people are confused in choosing their options.
Yes.
Students are confused. Like, so was it because you were interested in maths, or did you see the trend of the scoring trend and did you choose the option?
I was more accustomed to maths, as I told earlier. I did MPC in my +1 +2. So, and also in my BTech first year, it's a lot more convergence of syllabus than with starting over a completely new subject like polity or economy, and that too I'm preparing from home. So, when I started, there was very little online availability of material, especially in optional subjects. So I chose the most safest way for me.
Okay.
And that's how it happened.
So, when you were preparing, were you using the social media, or were you completely detached from social media?
I think after this incident, I I literally detached myself from the world and friends. So I deleted my Facebook account. I never opened an Instagram account. I just have WhatsApp. That's it.
Only WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So right now, are you in any of the present social media?
Um,
Well, now you're not there. Okay. So don't you feel that you're missing out something there? Because there's this factor why I'm asking this is, especially with the current generation, current trend of aspirants are more attached to social media, and that factor called FOMO, fear of missing out. So that is also creating a lot of distraction, especially at this age. What happens is that 20 to 30 is said to be the most productive age for any individual, any human being for that matter. And that is the age also that comes with equal distractions and equal temptations. It can be sports, it can be movies, it can be relationships, it can be anything for that matter. So, what is your advice for that?
Um, there's a book which I was reading recently, and there I had this idea of I read this idea of social media detox. So the apps are I feel this is my opinion completely. They are designed in a way to capture more attention of us, and if we realize that the more time we spend on it, the more time we'll be losing either doing studies or our work or with our family. So as we say, life is has everything in it. Like it is a mixture of all the elements and ingredients. So this should also be a part of it. So reserve half an hour or so and stick to it. So you won't be missing out on much, and also you'll be doing your work. So balance is
Okay.
what's.
So, balancing it, regulating it is the best way to put it. So, which is the biggest challenge that you came across in this UPSC exam?
My biggest challenge was lack of peer group
Yeah.
to share ideas, to know whether what I'm thinking is right or wrong. Like what you said, I was away from social media and friends, so this is the other side of it. So I missed out on the positive aspects of it. So it took a lot of time for me to understand things around me, to develop an opinion, especially. So that was a little bit of a hurdle.
Yeah. So you are also a perfect example for somebody who is working and also somebody who is not gone to the most important so-called ups and prepared from them. You have sat at your place and you have sat and you have prepared. So obviously you've said one thing that you have missed out is that peer group. Anything else that you missed out while you're isolated and preparing from your own?
Guidance.
Okay.
Seniors inputs. I realized that a lot, like in college, school, anywhere, there are people to guide you the right way. And yeah, that small amount of input saves a lot of time, probably a few days of preparation. So that is another thing. But thankfully, as the journey kept going, I did get a lot of sources. My friends helped, my mentors helped, and that helped me convert to understand the nuanced writing, especially. That was where I was lacking. So that's how it got it.
So I keep saying this many a times. There are three pillars to success, especially in this field or in any competitive field. One is you should have the right mentor to show you the direction, right peer, the right environment. That you said you missed out on the two major things. But then you had put in the third most important pillar, that is called the right effort. That is equally so. All the three things put together will help you to reach the destination. Coming to the UPSC journey, or okay, before that we'll talk about the time management as well, because you are working, you are already into the state service and you are preparing for it. So how difficult was it to manage the time?
Um, I have a 10 to 5 office working hours schedule, and so that time is devoted to the office itself. So I had to, especially I joined in September, so after days. So the major part of the exam was over. So for the interview, I had to prepare again from this time from a new perspective. So I used to get up early then study, and whenever they have breaks during the office hours, I used to practice. And after coming home, then from probably 2 3 hours from 7 to 10, I was studying in small amounts. I had a set plan, like I'll do this a particular day. I used to complete things, and I used to practice every day sitting in front of the mirror once in a while, so that I'm fluent and confident in how I'm answering things. So that's how I could manage. So my working part only got was away. My working was there only while I was preparing for the interview.
Mm. So, coming to interviews, since I mean you have also scored very good marks in the interview, 205. So, any interesting thing that happened in the interview, any interesting questions that you can recollect?
Um, my interview day, I was the last person to go. So two things I have to say. Before going to the interview, I was lucky enough to have a nice group. Before there were 15 people being interviewed that day, and three groups of 5 people each. So my peers beside me, they were very calm and relaxed about it. So what that did was to cool my nerves. So going to such a big event or an interview and having a very pleasant mind was, they made me feel at home. So that played a major role in the mindset. And the other important part was the board was very cordial, and they were actively listening. Um, and I kept my mindset as like I would not get scared. I have to keep my point of view to the board, how I come, the reasoning behind my opinion. So I kept things very simple, and I actually executed that plan and came.
Uh, So, coming to your prelims strategy, you were able to clear prelims in all the 4 attempts. So, what was your prelims strategy? What worked out for you? Because for many, the first stage itself is the biggest hurdle. I've seen students who are not able to clear in the first 4 attempts, 5 attempts, but in the sixth attempt, fifth attempt, they clear prelims. And once they clear prelims, they make sure that they get it. So, what things worked out for you?
Prelims, I used to keep it very simple, sir. I used to tackle the main subjects: quality, economy, environment, and geography. Um, and a little bit of NCRTs for history. And I used to rely heavily on the previous year questions.
Yeah.
So that always helped.
Okay, so static core subjects, minimal sources, and PYQs.
Yes.
Any change in sources? If you look at the last year prelims paper, so would you suggest any change in sources or change in the strategy to prepare itself?
What I have observed is the questions are mostly around basics. Like what my understanding is, I need not score very high marks to clear the cutoff. So I kept things very simple. You have to. I understood the basics and all the easy questions, all the questions which I am able to answer. I used to answer. I used to answer and never take a risk. And I also never focused on remembering facts, which kind of eased the pressure on me to perform normally in the exam.
Yeah. Any last minute tips that you would like to give, especially with 30 days for the prelims?
I would suggest to revise PYQs, because I don't know, for some reason the questions or the concepts get repeated. So that's what I'd suggest.
Okay. And any this one, I mean, tips related to the number of mock tests to take?
No, it's one's ease. For example, my first attempt, I was getting very low in mock tests, so it hurt my confidence. So I did not take it. But in my later attempts, it helped me gain confidence. So I took it. So it changes from person to person, and also in the situation they comfort level. So one has to decide this thing.
Fine. So the strategy differs from one student to another. It should be your strategy, and you should play to your strength and weakness.
at that time also. So
Yeah.
what I did in the first attempt, I did not do it in the second. So
Okay, on the day of the exam, advice to the students.
whatever it is, they always. My favorite cricketer is MS Dhoni. So he's always cool in whatever situation that is. So he that helps you understand and assess situations. For example, last year CSAT was I felt it was difficult, and the maths questions were focused a lot more on arithmetic, which I was very weak in. So what I did, I changed my strategy to go to English, and that worked. It helped me clear the cutoff. So being cool helps you think on your feet.
Yeah.
Probably that's what it's helps people to do.
And also, if you look at the last prelims cutoff, it has completely dropped down to 75-76%. So, any advice for them, especially in CSAT? What would you like to say?
CSAT, probably you need to focus both on English and maths. If one part is difficult, do not get stuck on the sum, especially that's what many people from maths background would tend to do. But instead, you need to score more than 66 and a half, 66.67. So be on the safer side. Focus on the easiest sums first, and then probably one can take the rest.
So, what basically works in CSAT is selecting the questions. So, I keep telling this to students because some of them think that they're good in quant, they think they're very good in English, and they try to target that. But in UPSC, if you look at it last year, English was comparatively relatively easier compared to quant. But before that, I think quant was easier.
Yes.
So we should not go with the prefix mindset that I'll solve only maths or only quant or only logical reasoning or only passages. I think we should go with the mindset of selecting the questions which are easy and we have to complete the paper.
Yes.
So that would be the advice. And coming to the mains part, I think mains was a big issue for you, and you were not able to clear mains in the previous 3 attempts. So what changes did you make in this attempt, and what did not work out in the previous attempts?
My main score were pretty low, and the basic reason, which I think the most important reason was not writing answers or practicing writing answers. So I kept changing my approach and focusing more on writing, presentation, etc., and that helped me improve.
Okay. So, any specific strategy that you want to like to give when answer writing, especially for beginners, how to start, and also the other challenge in answer writing is the mains part, especially is completing the paper. So, what do you have to say with that?
The first thing is answer to the question. In UPSC, there are 3-line questions. So there are many parts of the question that are being asked. So if one can identify those questions and answer to those points, you basically get a structured answer, which is half the job done. And automatically the quality of the answer improves. And other than that, keep the word, be mindful of the word limit. And that would help one complete the paper.
If not for UPSC, what would you have done?
And as I told you, state civil services. But I think I would have tried till I got it.
So, what one change that you would like to bring once you get into the service, central services?
One thing is make institutions more mobile and India more mobile so that people like me and other with other kind of difficulties can live independently. So that is my first like point one in my agenda.
Okay, good enough. And what is that one change that you would like to, or one change, if you look at your entire life, any one change that you would like to think of?
To be more
If even if, say if there's a God right in front of you, and he says like, you have one, you can ask me one wish. what would be that?
I would ask to be more systematic and more practical, so that I could take better decisions, and that will help in a lot of situations actually.
Okay. Would you not ask for the normal life that you had before?
Um, I don't know if that's the way. Probably yes, but
So you just want to accept the reality and keep moving on.
that's a wish. I asked for it a number of times. So other than that, it would be this. Like if I make things practical, I would be taking the right decisions, probably the right treatments. I wouldn't be here. So that is.
Nice. And also, this interview is special for us because you are also a TAP mains program student and also a part of Gurukul online program student. So, how did these two programs play an important role in your journey?
First, the most important thing is it helped to my answers. It helped the period between last means and this year. I was taking continuously kept me on my toes, brush off my technique of answer writing, and actually my scores did improve a bit. So that's how it helps.
And if I have to ask you, those 5 years where you said you were not able to move out of your house, what were the emotions that were running through?
First was a frustration, then a lot of like I went through the stages of depression actually. Then a lot of crying, blaming, then resignation. Then probably I started to accept things, move on, and then I started thinking on how can I make myself more mobile. Like I bought a car, a wheelchair, other methods of mobility. So I actually tackled my challenge.
So, say, sir, for people who are in your position, say, what would you?
Like what my grandfather told me that after every night there sunrise. So it's just peace.
Well said, and that is very true for all of us. That hope is a very important factor in all our lives. And coming to the last part of the interview, what would you like to suggest to the aspirants who are looking forward for this exam or who wants to take up UPSC as civil services as well?
First thing is like I'll congratulate them because it is a very different career path. One which involves giving back to the society and making country better. And the other thing is it is a challenging journey and it's getting more competitive day by day. So just don't lose hope, have trust in oneself and also be smart about choices, have plan B so that you're more confident and secure. And mental health. That's really, really important.
Yeah, definitely, because most of us we forget about our mental health. We think health is more of physical thing, but I think a lot of thing goes into the mental health as well. And see, knowledge and studying part is one. Like say, I would say 60% of your success depends, 60-70% depends on your knowledge, but the remaining 30-40% is based on your mental frame of mind, which is equally important, which most of us tend to neglect it. And only if you're healthy, both physically and mentally, then you can be your best. Because efficiency comes with, or productive economy comes with good health, and we should focus on that. It was nice interacting with you, Hanita, and I once again wish you all the best from the entire team of IS Power, and wish you all the best once again.
Thank you, sir. Like one of my hobbies was my interview went for 30-35 minutes, and after all the members had asked the questions, I was I was told to come out, and that's when Chairman sir had stopped me and he asked me about the particular incident of Draupadi Vastraharan in Mahabharata. He, if the question goes like, Duryodhana follows Niyam and Krishna follows Nyaya. While Duryodhana follows all the rules he breaks, he ends up doing so much of injustice. And Krishna breaks all the rules that results in justice. So, how do you connect this context to that of a law implement and a lawmaker? And that was a very tricky question. So I answered like it's basically deontology versus sequentialism. So I answered that I would go with virtue ethics. That's a person with the right attitude who knows the law, understands justice, would implement it in the way it should be, to the right degree. So then it was further extended as to recently the scope for discretion has been decreased in the government. So what's your idea about it? I was like, individuals are very subjective in their opinions. They can be. Even if we do not want it, we might get biased into the frame. So that's the major reason why there are rules and laws to ensure uniformity. So, but every officer is given that a little amount of discretion which they can use within the set of rules. So, in that manner, that would be a better way of administration of law and justice.
So do you think discretion is important, especially when we have laws in place?
Not all situations are same, and there are situations where law doesn't do the justice that they fall short of justice, and it's in that void where a discretion needs to be used so that the purpose of law, which is to ensure justice, is actually happens. So that's.
Mhm. So the role of a mentor, how important is the role of a mentor in one's preparation?
Mentor helps make the journey simple, well guided. Your efforts are to a particular. It's like cooking something with a recipe and without a recipe. You fail a number of times. A lot of effort goes in without one recipe. Whereas when you have the proper recipe, you know what to do, how much to put in food. So that's the role. What I think is the role of a mentor. It makes things easy, quicker, and better.
Yeah, mentor is a friend, philosopher, and guide. I think his role or her role is much bigger than even a no, even a teacher, I would say, because he or she is there at not only from content or subject perspective, but also at times where you need that real emotional support. And I think you had one good mentor as Guruji who actually gave you the direction on how to overcome the setback that you had faced and to take up this exam for UPSC. Salute and for all the mentors from my side as well.
I'm a student of IAS Baba Gurukul program for the mains test series and also the TLP program. It helped me in two ways. One is it provided value addition for my content, and the test series helped me practice writing answers in a much better way, and also within time that helped me improve my scores. And I thank IAS Baba and all the mentors for the support. Good evening, I'm Hanita. I secured All India rank 887 in UPSC CSC 2023. I'm from Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Mains has been my major hurdle in the preparation. This is my fourth attempt and first interview. This time I've taken online mentorship from the IAS Baba online Gurukul program and also TLP Mains answer writing program. They helped me with value addition from the monthly magazines in Babapedia, and I took tests that helped me complete all answer questions on time. And timely inputs from the mentors helped me course correct and improve my performance in the final examination. I thank IAS Baba for helping me in this journey, and especially my mentor Suraj sir. And I wish the aspirants all the best for their attempt. Thank you.
So, in anyone's success, family plays a very important role.
Yes.
They are the strong pillar behind us, which is not visible to the outside world. So, in that context, how important was your family's role in your success, especially when that huge setback happened in your life?
It was a major shock to my parents too, to find their child life changing so drastically in such a short span of time. But they stood the challenge. They first stood up, and they also helped me understand it. And they changed themselves, their work, and all the surrounding, my home, etc., to make me feel more comfortable. And most importantly, they used to sit and talk to me about how I feel and how I should approach my life. And especially my sister, who's been there constantly monitoring my moods to check for any kind of wrong, very aggressive decisions or etc. And she used to talk to me, take me out, and suggest good books. My aunt or my grandparents, they are also used to come visit frequently. They made me feel that I was still loved, accepted the same way before. So that helped me gain confidence in myself. So in that way, and also with this exam and preparation, since my journey took a long span of 4 years, my grandfather especially used to tell me that I will do it one day. And it's sad that he is not there right now to see the success. But anyway, he whatever he told me, the line which he told me before, that after every night there's a day, the sun rises. So that he gave that hope to cling on. So this too shall pass.
Yeah, well said, and I think your grandfather uh, must be really happy for what you have done. He must be blessing you from the above. And yeah, definitely your family, especially you said that you accepting you as you are. I think that comes only with the family. Only they know what you are and who you are, and that unconditional love and support is very important. Because I see a lot of students who get detached from the family, the social circle, their close friend circle, especially when they start preparing for this exam. They think that detaching themselves, they can focus more on the studies. It doesn't work out like that, because that emotional support is equally important. Saying that we are there for you, come what may, and you are and again you are lucky enough to have such a family.